and welcome back for a last tour of Blocksteady. Because unfortunately the server is currently down and this map probably will not be played again, even though it does hold a lot of memories, and at the same time the bases that I do have I semi want to complete just looking at them, but I know that I probably shouldn't. So we're going to start at first in the basement. So I had this simple little furnace set up. Then the lava storage actually got dropped down to only like the 2 there, because I used up every bit that I had in the basement in order to get my gold farm to the state that I wanted it to be at. Because I think it was, I can't even remember. We'll go all the way down and just take a look at how big the lava room was, and then you can kind of guesstimate how much obsidian it was. I don't know, because we pulled lava out of all these extra little lava tunnel spots here, like right there. And then over this direction there's lava all the way up to here. We slowly pushed it all the way back to pretty much nothing left. Uncovered emeralds and all sorts of good stuff. But yeah, pretty much sucked all the lava out of here. Man, I hate having colds. But up over here, around the corner, is this storage. And I think it was like 15 or 20 buckets each of these lines. And I had 2 on the bottom per 1 on the top, so it's like 3, 6, 9 or so. Then we also took all the lava out of here except for that little piece over there. And then there was the ravine and all that stuff that direction, which we don't really have to get into. And then this random, I think this is where I was planning the lowest point possible to be for the slime farm, because this here was going to be the slime farm. Initially, I just wanted to mess around with haste 2 and dug out a good section here. And then slime started spawning, like usual when you start removing a huge chunk of land. And my plan was to kind of just roll with it and make a slime farm, but never did complete it because the base here started to get a little bit twitchy with the old video card and stuff like that. I still need to really do my processor and stuff like that so that it kind of works a little bit better, and maybe I'll have better frames even than I do now, but that's in the future. But this here was going to be the living kind of my room area with a nice little walkway up, and then it was going to have some glass along here and stuff like that, with a little bit more garden possibly than the actual bedroom. And it was going to be a fair-sized bedroom too, as far as I was planned, from what I remember. It has been quite a bit of time since I played, so memory could be just terrible. But we'll go this way to the flower room. And then we spent lots of time down at the grinder, so I don't really want to go down there. But we got all the different farms all the way down here, and then the ones at the very end here were sheep and cows and stuff. Now it's just to kind of try and prevent a little bit of lag and only have them kind of you know, loaded and stuff like that if actually came near there. But this here's the first tree farm, or the original, before I had just stupid amounts of iron and stuff like that. And then I'd jump up here just like this a million times, crawl through that little gap there, round, go up again. As you can see, I had so much cobble that I didn't really mind wasting it near the end. And I was starting to leave pieces everywhere, because originally when I was going across it, I was jumping from point to point, and if I had to use a piece to get through, I just chop it off basically let it fall despawn, because I didn't really care about it, but after a while and having to go back to locations, because of stuff like that, right there, you can see one piece of snow right there out of all the area that I'd covered. And that gets really frustrating after a while. Oh, there's a piece of grass right there. If you look at it enough, you'll find little problems. And when you're walking, it's even harder to find. Right now I'm flying, so it's so easy to just spot little inconsistencies. But, yeah. Then I had this stupid gully to jump down into. And I kinda in the process, as you can see. Jump out, make some stairs, sort of. Crawl down a little bit further, make some more stairs. Sort of easier way out. And around to different areas. And then continue. Yeah. So much work on half slabbing. But we're up here for kind of a reason at the moment, to oversee the amount of amplification that this land did. And there was only one other member that actually opted to amplify his land, and his place is also pretty damn huge. But this over here was going to be my auto farm section, where I could have farms that were pretty much all automated and wouldn't lag the rest of the base out, because it's outside of the normal base area, because it's like 200, 300 blocks down the hall or something like that. But I had so many hoppers that I finally kind of wanted to make it so that saplings would get picked up. And then at the very back here, it does look a little bit off, but that's so that I could climb up, jump on top of this top area here, and I was planning on kind of making a wall here as well, so I could get up on top of the trees and cut them down from the top. Because I was planning on being able to do like jungle trees and stuff like that out here. And yes, all that lava is natural. It's kind of why I came out here to build on this section, and said I'd be a good distance away for the iron farm. That way I wouldn't be loading too much, but it was kind of what I was wanting to do, is have the auto farms be loaded while I was getting free stuff anyhow. Because what's better than that? And at the moment, this thing actually still, when it burns the golems, actually gets iron. And in one video that I watched a while back with the updates, it said in 1.8, well, I think 1.7 or something like that, plus it was going to be, you have to kill the golems by hand, and at the moment it's not, which is weird. But as you can see, I had so much freaking red flowers, I was just throwing them off the side of the freaking platform here now and stuff. But let's go down this direction, and it'll basically bring us to the final area of this base, which was the storage room. Well, storage and enchanting and stuff. And yes, there's chickens in the hall. That's basically from the chicken farm part. But here's my original quick pickup area. And then underneath the 2 stairs for the way up to the next level was the quick drop. Ender chest right here. Redstone section. And then all the miscellaneous individual items, like, you know, horse armor, anything else, all down this side. This was going to be all the decoration blocks and glass and stuff like that. Then more decoration type stuff, and then blocks. Any block possible was going to have a location. I thought I had stuff in these ones. I don't know, maybe I was starting to bring them all to the other base at one point, or at least bring in some of it, whatever I needed. Okay, now the fun stuff. The chicken farm, that would automatically cook them and put it down into that chest. And I think it even had a couple of chests above, so that if I overstocked, it wouldn't be that bad for a while. And then here, the cactus farm that auto-destroyed any additional cactus after this thing was full. Well, that and the hoppers, I guess, whatever. You know what I mean. Then, that leads to the beacon, in order to be able to change the beacon to whatever setting you want. My gold farm, all of that is up above here. And since they could drop and just die at the point, it was fantastic and easy. But, yeah. Oh no, I think I broke one of the portals. No. No, it's not going to be as efficient. Get off. Be angry at me. Whatever. Get out of there. But as you can see, it has some fair-sized portals. Let's relight that, just that it looks proper. There. It's probably noisy as all hell in here, so I should probably get out. But that was the gold farm area. And while I was sitting here fishing, I'd be getting the gold from up there. Probably my chicken from up there, as well as mob drops from the grinder that's over there. So I was trying to be about as efficient as I could while still being able to have a little bit of fun with some fishing. Now this here's the silo section. As you can see, there's a lot of room that I dedicated to this, including a little bit of a walkway in the back here where you come up and around to the view at the very back here that I'd planned, and then a large center section that leads back towards the mob grinder. This is where everything could get picked up. Then everything from that would get auto-sorted into this chest, and then this one would overflow if everything else on this side fill up. It'd kind of overshoot to the other side. Now, if we go all the way up these stairs, man, this base just had lots of random stuff to it. It would bring you to the silo room, where you could fill from the top all the silos down. And I don't know if any of these are full anymore. Yeah, that one's completely full. That one's completely full. That one's not anymore. Same with that and that. And they're something like 9 to 12 chests, I think. I think it's like, well, just look. See, there's 8 plus the ones in the front, so that's like 5 more plus 2 hoppers per section all the way down. And I still have cobblestone just full over there. At one point I had basically all of that full, but then I started wasting it on half slabbing and at the other base, which we'll be looking at pretty quick here. You can fly up because it's way faster. But this here was the grinder. And yeah, I did hollow it all the way around with a walkway up. Yep. I really don't know why I put that much effort in, but I did. And then this here, it still actually works. And they just drop into this section, and you could actually see them coming through right here. Might even have one eventually drop in behind us here. Oh, maybe not. Oh, oh, oh no! And then they go down. And I had that one section up above where in the silo room you could see them kind of drop through that little section. Oh, that's why you can see the snow, because I have a piece ripped out up there. Because I wanted to show at the one point here that we're at 87, and the highest point that I started mining at in order to make this room was 226 or 8 or something like that. Might as well fly up and just land there and show. But me and the wife basically mined this out. I think I mined basically to the top here where I started the actual roof for the skylight I wanted. I don't know, I just really wanted a skylight. I could envision it, so I had to have one. So I put in the extra effort. I really just wanted to be on that piece of freaking land right there. There we go. Okay, we're at 229, and that's still possibly a little bit high. It might have been close to about here, but yeah, the entire amount is mined down to here, and that was due to this haste 2 and my efficiency picks. But even though I had, I think, 3 or 4 at the time, I don't know how many do I still have here. None. Awesome. I had them on me when my character Dat was killed. Because My survival inventory is nothing besides what I've already kind of grabbed since I've been back on the server here. But we got the brewing room here, and it actually had water on both sides so that two people could kind of use it at the same time. And then the enchanting room. And I was starting to add a little bit of extra lighting and stuff like that with some of my glowstone and stuff that I had. So let's head this direction and head over to base number 2 and just give a quick little rundown on what the plan was and how it was never going to actually happen, but I gave it a try. Pretty much. Because the nether smelter, it was huge, but that was basically because I had unlimited hoppers, and yeah, we might actually show that after this, but we'll see. Because right here you can see I have an ice tunnel in order to get around a little bit faster. Can't really do it with flying. But the plan here was different colored either corners or halls to signify what direction I was kind of going and stuff like that, because I think the back wall here is a different color, and that was just to kind of help me to get around the base a little bit faster, because the plan for this place was pretty big. It was about like these hoppers here. Because if you look at how many hoppers I wasted for the storage room, because all the hoppers right there, there's like 40 per row of just hoppers, and probably the same for right here plus the ones above. So you can tell I had an iron farm at the time, and I was AFKing just a little bit, and kind of went over the amount that I really needed for storage, but ta-da, I could fit all my cobble in one area. All of my mob drops, after they overflowed from my mob spot up there, they would actually overflow into here and stuff like that. So I have a few things that actually started to come through, but then I removed pretty much all the stuff up at the grinder area so that it would overflow a little bit different. And then I put in my furnace on that wall. I had no idea what I wanted this wall, but this was going to be probably a walkway down back into the basement. Then it was going to have the 4 beacons so that I could have pretty much all the different bonuses in this one spot right here. Have some running, jumping, etc. Then, as you can see, just like below, it had a color code system for all the different sections of if I needed to go to red for some cobble, or probably black. Yeah, black's probably my cobble. You just look here, run downstairs, and go and grab it. And then it had 4 stations for enchanting, and it had ender chests and anvils at all of them, except for that one. And stuff, so you didn't have to worry about which section you went to. But I think this turned out pretty decent. So I really like the way the roof and everything started looking after a while. And then it does the same kind of effect from outside and up above, where it just lets a little bit of the white through. Then we have the grinder. And I really like the lava work right there, and a little bit of extra details and stuff, in order to make it look a little different. I think it looked good with the black glass right there. And it did work pretty good, especially once I AFK'd in my little AFK spot up there. I was kind of filling the whole freaking platform. I don't know why, but I was sort of doing that. And on top of that, in order to have it the way I wanted it to be, I had to basically level all terrain in this area, which was kind of a large effort in order to accommodate this. I was, as you can see, like torching the hell out of this place, like, because if we look underneath, there's torches pretty much everywhere being spammed from all the random coal and just trees that I had to cook for charcoal and stuff. But I'd already moved a couple of mountains here. I was in the process of this one. This one is actually gone before the rollback. Same with a good portion of this one. And I'd cleared out all the trees basically in that section to the corner. And I was finally gonna have a corner complete. Because I basically had everything set up, so all I had to do was quickly use the haste beacon right here and finish clearing it. And unfortunately we had the rollback. So that basically killed the effort. And this is where the beacon at one point was sitting, and then I had a second beacon spot where I was kind of putting it down over there. Don't know where I have it moved to right now. It's weird. It might have been even in my inventory at the time, which is sad because now it's gone. But if you're wondering the size, basically the center is where that ladder is that's blurry over there. And then you come out all the way to about here, which I can't remember how many blocks it was. Might have been 200 or something like that. And then all the way up here to the corner, and then back to the same section before. I had it all pre-planned out beforehand, so I think I had a piece of, well, a sign or something sitting down here. What's the sign say? Here's 120 up to here, and as you can see, it keeps going. So that was the plan. It probably was never going to happen, because if you look this direction at the amount of land and trees that I had to remove in order to get to this section, and then there's ravines and stuff down below and everything, which would have actually helped, because that's stuff I don't have to touch other than kind of half slabbing it or something, which after you half slab the hell out of a base a lot, you get fairly fast at, but it still takes a long time. But this was pretty much my last base I was planning on the server, because I had no plans of the server ending anytime soon, and that's why it had to be a big project that would keep me busy and entertained for a long time. Unfortunately, that didn't happen. Stupid rollback. Yeah. So I want to burst off over to spawn now. We might end it here depending on the length of the video, because I don't want it to be crazy long. But if I get back to spawn, do all the stuff that I want to do there and show all the different builds that everybody had, because I really do want to show off some of the members' builds and stuff like that. Well, I want to show off as many as I can find. So I know some of them are not going to be in the state that the person had made it, like finished building it to, but it's still going to be almost not bad. The worst is basically Keeb's and Brian's last builds that they were doing, because they were fairly active at that point, and yeah, there was a lot of work that ended up getting just destroyed. Well, rolled back, whatever you want to call it. I'll see you at spawn. Alright, welcome back to the spawn. Okay, as you can see here, there's this little bit of a layout right there, and that was actually a building. It was built, well, a good chunk of it was, because it was into the ground, and I remember it having some stairs and stuff. I don't think it was 100% complete, but it sucks that it's gone now. Keeb's Casino survived, which would have got him quite a bit more iron, because I was using it basically daily, because I had AFK overnight, get 9, 12 stacks iron or something like that. I can't remember. And then I would come here and waste a third of what I got on trying to get diamonds, which got him, I don't know how much iron in the long run. But we still have so many cows that spawn here. Brian's boat game, I think that was out here. Then we have Adam's triple auto fishery, where you can sit there and auto fish off of that stuff, and it auto sort. I don't think it works anymore, because some of the updates and stuff like that, unless we kept like a 1.7-ish server going. Then we have Chuck's bookshop, and as you can see, he had everything all enchanted, so you could just look at the frame and see what you're going to try and go for. everything else in the back. He also had an upstairs right here, which led to all the ones with the dual enchants on them. Kind of like that. Yeah. Really hate colds. This is making me have to kind of try and quickly pause or stop the recording in order to not do it while I'm freaking sitting here. But here's Town Hall. And I can actually do an aerial view and everything at the front. And it had a kind of area right here where you come up and do kind of a town hall meeting. And then a jail, just in case somebody was bad. And then over here you can see the message board, and at least one person had used it. And Chuck was the one that built this town hall, same with his bookstore there. And he also did quite a bit of terrain work around, like the roads and stuff, because he was the one that was enjoying doing some of that and bringing some extra detail to the area. As you can see, we got the map, and it's semi-updated. It doesn't have Keeb's mansion over here and stuff like that. Yeah, not at all. So, let's go out and take a quick little look at everything else. As you can see over there, we got the Christmas tree still up from around Christmas. It had gotten taken down, but now it's back, which is kind of interesting in a way. But he had his own personal fishery for auto fishing right next to his house at spawn. And then inside here, he had this place just to kind of grow some extra sheep or whatever he needed in order to do what he was doing. And then I think he had a snowman in this corner in order to get prepped up for a prank. Because every now and then he liked doing some pranks on people, just to keep things lively. And then Mel over here, which is John Casual's brother, he was getting more into starting to add some extra shapes and stuff into his builds, and more rooms and stuff like that. So it was always interesting to come and check out any of his new builds, because you could see him starting to change his styles slightly. Man, still kind of tweaking on this server, but that's partially because I'm self-hosting it in order to be able to fly around and show as much as I can in as short a time as I can. Now, this was the most disappointing thing for me personally, as well as Keeb's, because this was his project. And from what I remember, he had up to the top of the pillars, basically the front wall done, as well as the sides, and it was really starting to take a really nice shape, kind of like his fountain out here in the front. Because as you can see, he spent some extra time trying to make it look fancy and kind of a one-of-a-kind or something fountain. Then over here we had John Casual, and he had pretty much all these done to about here, which was quite a bit different than being able to do it in creative, because he originally did this project in creative, and then he was trying to get it done on the server, but never did actually end up happening, thanks to the rollback. Then over here we had J-Man, and he was busy doing a little treehouse type build, and I really liked this one because he was making it look quite a bit like it was a tree overall, and just trying to fit everything inside and be all just snug and small, sort of, but foresty. I don't know. I really like that little treehouse. Then I had this here little shop, which wasn't even just a shop. As you can see, a little sign. I was planning on in the middle of my stairway, basically breaking a hole in the top of the roof and bringing one of my couple of beacons to spawn here, and removing my middle post here in the stairway and having a beam up it. That way everyone could regen right here as well. But, because, you know, UHC mode and stuff. But this here was the trading post and mail office. Or, yeah, I guess mail office, post office, whatever you want to call it. And then right here, stuff to get your payments and everything. for my shop, which still has lots of iron inside, which is fantastic, as well as 2 different ways of paying for the expensive stuff, then a way to pay for the mid-level stuff with things that I needed, especially glowstone, and then donations, and everything for all the chicken and stuff that I had an abundance of. Let's go take a look at the upstairs, because I more or less finished most of the upstairs to a degree. Here's my lighting for in the front, so I could turn off or on the mail area lighting. And then all these had a little bit of something in them for quick grabbing at spawn for any kind of material I might need. So as you can see, I even had like tripwire hooks, lamps, little bits for almost any occasion. Even gold, leaves, more stuff, and then quick little spot to sleep, and some nice windows to look out at. Nothing. I was really hoping someone was going to build something behind the shop, because it just would have looked great from in the shop. And then down here was pretty much my planned storage for anything extra that I wanted to store at the shop and not my base. And they're probably all empty at the moment, because I'd gotten to the point where I think I brought the chests in and maybe finished like the other couple of aisles here, but I didn't really bring too much to the town to store, because it was still a little bit of a run with my minecart and stuff in the nether. Then I tried to add a little bit to the trees to make them look like they droop and hang a little bit more. Then we had Brian's house right here. Kind of built like a witch hut, but a little bit different. And he had this nice little balcony to be able to look out at everything else in spawn, which did look quite a bit better after Chuck came through after his vacation, right before the frickin' rollback, and he added like roads, finished the road up to my place, did around the fountain, added trees, and extra coloring pretty much everywhere. But that's basically the spawn, and now I kind of wanted to rip out to some of the bases and just show a little bit of what was done and everything. So let's get in through the nether here and see how long this takes, because I don't think it should take super long, but you never know. And additionally, just so that people know, the nether's acting a little weird on this map. I don't know if it's the 1.67 to 1.8 conversion, but when I come back through this portal, it's going to send me into the netherrack. Well, where the netherrack was. But this here was Ryan's place. And as you can see, he has a snowman and a few extras. He was the first one to, I think, have an enchanting room. And he also has a brew room and all that other stuff. But his computer actually ended up kind of dying on him. So he got screwed over for a good chunk of the season. He got to start and kind of got going, and then had no control over being able to continue. Which sucks a little bit, but I wanted to show what he got done beforehand to a degree. And this is what I was talking about. Because when I first came through, it was like I was in the black void, and I thought it was going to just take a sec to load, but, oh, phone. People calling for the kittens already. But, like I was saying, for some reason you go through here, and it kicks you back out there. I don't know. It's different, because I've never had that happen before that I can remember. And then down this tunnel, because I ended up actually half slabbing this because I was using John's tunnel all the time, and I think at one point I might have even donated him some of the track that he needed in order to just get a track in, because I had an abundance of material on this server. Because I spent a lot of time on, I don't know, I can't even remember how much I was on. I just remember a lot. But, yeah. And I could vouch that I was on for a lot, because I made a 3,000 something block long freaking tunnel to 28,000 something blocks out. I kind of really want to show that. I don't know why. It's just an urge I'm having at the moment. So we might go for that run. Out here is the Mesa biome. Mesa, however you want to say it. But basically, I know I spent a majority of the time out here because that was me over there. And then a good chunk of this is me too. I know one person did some over here and took a little bit for a base, but this right here room I emptied out, and then I was starting to kind of poke through the other side of the hill over there, so I ran out over here and started just taking the whole freaking hill down. So I set up a little silo system over here so that I didn't have to stop, bring out like 3-4 picks and just go to town for a while. I'm surprised my beacon's not out here because I think I've set up the beacon on the top of that dirt just so that I could get some extra haste speed and stuff like that. It was awesome once I got all that beacon stuff and everything. So I started doing so much more digging. Then this direction leads us actually to John Casual's territory and his wife Generia's. And I believe he also had his one buddy Taco out here as well. But as far as I remember, he lived somewhere in one of these places. He might even have that little place down there or someplace down there. But we're just going to do a quick fly around because I really don't want this video to be like, I don't know, a couple of hours. I want it to be max maybe an hour. And I still got a whole bunch more places to show, including army and zombie babies, because they had just kind of started back up a little bit before the rollback, but I think that's kind of still saved because the sign says their names. So I'm hoping the entire flight out there is not a complete waste, and if it is, damn, that sucks. But John's place here, he had the interior here kind of like a castle, sort of, with lots of different colored glass around for his different windows. And he had lots of little rooms and stuff starting here and there. I wonder if this one leads to being able to see the drop. Nope. Maybe the one up above will. Because he was slowly making floor by floor little sections here. And yeah, I can't see anywhere where you can actually see the ground below. But it basically had a gigantic ravine type thing that you could die if you accidentally didn't hit shift while you're busy trying to work in the area. Because you go from this height here just about to where that sand is in a drop, which will kill you. But as you can see, he had little things starting off all these different directions, because as far as I remember, he loved the setup of this amplified savanna. Because right out here, well, I remember trying to help him rip down one gigantic wall that was like this, and it was a lot of work, because I think we tried to smooth it a little bit before the server started, so we were in creative just punching it down, because we didn't have any world edit or anything. And there was so much additional walls that would need it, because even my place, it had a kind of section like this where it just goes huge, nothing, and looks a little bit weird. But at the same time, if anyone on the server ever needed some sandstone, their need would have been met. And I don't think John would have complained at all if somebody came out here and mined that entire chunk down. And one other thing to note, because of the acacia trees, these are not the real thing. It's oak and jungle wood. Because yes, this was at that transition when they were bringing them in. And we have the real thing, which took a while afterwards to find. Yeah. Frickin' heck. It sucked because when we first made this place, it was like, sweet, we got access to the trees right away. And they looked like them, basically. Just no. And I know a majority of his stuff's in this place right here, in the middle hut. But he was constantly branching out and adding so many other buildings, including the giant watchtower kind of thing, or some kind of tower right there. I don't believe that was as high as it was going to go, but it's as high as it is now. And that's John's place. And even though I'm in creative, sometimes it still acts like I'm in survival. I don't know. It's weird. The portal just doesn't want to take you. So, next we'll skip zombie and armies. We'll jump over to what the heck, John Casual's brother's place, and we'll just take a quick little look around, and then we can sort of see what Brian's base top was, because he made his sort of a labyrinth. He had pistons and buttons, and you had to shoot certain areas in order to open rooms, which I really don't want to deal with at the moment. So we're going to avoid seeing all the inside of his place, which is down there. And we're going to go over this way to Melvis's. And then from there we can actually get over to Chuck's actual base, because this here was Mel's place. And I helped him set up the portal and stuff, because I had the blocks and we could make them bigger than normal, so I just brought a good chunk of block and helped him out. And then as you can see, he had a little bit of stuff started up, and that's the glowstone barrier that I was talking about. No one was supposed to cross that at the start of the map until the updates were done, and then you could kind of explore. But we needed some kind of initial barrier. If we go towards this hill that has that little bit of a awesome part, I like that. We'll see he had a ton of cows, again, in a grinder. So, server's having some fun, because it has a million entities and areas. And this was Chuck's storage house. Because if we look inside here, through windows, there's hoppers and stuff, and the top here was just mostly decoration, I think. But just chest, 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 chest. And I can't remember if he dug into any of these hills. Oh, maybe right here. Probably leads just to mine. Take a quick look. Yeah, it looks kind of like a mine to me. So we'll avoid jumping down there at the moment. So that's Chuck's place, Mel's place down. Let's go kind of this direction, I think. And we'll start to see torches. And then somewhere around here, there's kind of a beacon that just pops through the ground into the air. Where the heck are you? Come on. There you are. This was Brian's place. His is somewhere under here. As you can see, there's a horse right here that he stored. And his plan right here, as you can see, he had sort of a kind of layout, was to fill all of that with trees, because he wanted a gigantic, great, big, huge forest that people could get lost in and not really find his place. So from there, we're going to do a really, really, really long tunnel. I don't know. It probably doesn't sound the funnest thing in the world. Oh, and this one did the same thing. It jumped me, instead of at the portal here, or right beside it, it threw me out way over here. And then I ended up finding my way by punching out of it. I would show this one right here, but Paw Buttocks was new to the server basically at the time, and I've already been all the way out there, and unfortunately if he had a house and anything built out there, it's no longer there. It's been rolled back, it's gone. And here's my stall, and At one point, my horse disappeared. I have no idea where it went, but it's gone. But yeah, Paw was new to the server, and when I went out there, like, he has a great plot of land. Like, it would have been fantastic. It would have looked just amazing. But unfortunately, all he has is basically lookout points at the moment, which still looks good, but his travel is pretty close. Well, not quite as close to this, but it's a fair distance. So, yeah. And somebody made a portal here to, I think, nothing. Pretty sure there was nothing out there. But as you can see, this tunnel here, and yes, it does have a cart system underneath the whole freaking way. It took a long time, and it was such a pain. But luckily I had so much gold for my gold farm, so much iron for my iron farm, it was not really a problem. And I also had quite a bit of redstone and stuff like that from, as you could guess, clearing out my storage room, the slime room, my mining tunnels that are down below. I even had a spider spawner down the mine, if I remember right. But this tunnel just keeps going forever. So anyhow, updates on the baby. He's about 8 months now, teething, almost crawling, if I haven't already said it. Kind of angry at times, so it's making recording a little bit iffy, just because random kind of really angry moments where he hits the wrong part of his gum or something and just freaks out. And you can only do so much to ease that at the moment, because I've tried the little gel for his gums, cold stuff, you know, the whole thing, and at times nothing will work. But he's so much happier now because he has his little play exercise area thing and all sorts of stuff, so it's been making him overly joyed. And he's already been a really upbeat, happy little guy, so it's just adding to him, making more happy faces and stuff. And then the other little ones, they're both in school basically now, so I should pretty much get a little bit of time here when I'm not half asleep, because lately it's been like stay up till 2-ish in the morning my time, and then yeah, this is gonna be something. I have no idea what that was gonna be, but the carts ended up here. Oh damn, that's right. Oh, I have more stuff to show. That sucks. But yeah, so I'll get some time to record, possibly where it's kind of quiet-ish like now, but really hard to say. And this here was zombie and armies area. Actually, there's more here than I thought. So that's fantastic. He had his, well, they had their villager little place here. As you can see, a little village, including an actual kind of church, I think those are. And that's what I did to make it ease down to the ground, because I'm super smooth like that. But this was a zombie and armies area, and I made the long tunnel out here to make sure that we ended up in a new territory and all new stuff would spawn after that update. So we ended up getting the roofed forest, and then the savanna, and I think there's a little bit more nearby as well. So it was a really good area to kind of come out, as well as for building and stuff like that, because there's just so much random stuff around everywhere on the map. But I'm happy that they actually got some of their villager village done, even though it would have been nicer if it was complete, but still. But look at those walkways. Fancy looking. They don't make you fall, and they're completely effective. So that's the tour of everyone's bases. Now let's go to the nether, and I'll show you what's down this direction. And I can't even remember how I came across this. I think I was just kind of mining down to get into the nether down here to see what I would find. And I was just kind of tunneling, going down, occasionally spiking through and kind of going, well, that's not the way to go. Keep going. But I was lucky enough to actually be kind of in one of those big pillars that lead down. And as you can see, there's some stuff slabbed out there. And this is what was taking up most of my time near the end, because we were needing, what the heck, a wither farm area. So, since I had lots of spare time, I pretty much started slabbing the heck out there, which kind of sucked because things were shooting at me a lot at the start anyhow. Then it slowly started to get a little bit better. I think I just heard one anyhow. But if you go all the way down here, oh yes, definitely heard them. This is a really small nether fortress. Down that direction it kind of just loops to a dead end eventually. This way leads to nothing after a few, and then there's so many stupid tunnels in that netherrack. But basically you'd come through here, brew stand if you wanted to make anything. As you can see, lots of stone swords and stuff, because there ended up actually being quite a few out here. Because this here was where we'd go for all the skeletons. And yeah, they're kind of ignoring me because of creative. But they couldn't get through this area. And at one point I was actually debating about just filling that all up with the half slabs, that they'd still spawn with their head stuck in the brick and be unable to move. But Semi went against it, I guess. And then out this direction will lead to the additional area. Now, I didn't get to slab everything, but I did start to. And I don't think I needed the glowstone at the moment, because we might have had a witch farm on this server if it wasn't the last one. I really can't remember which one we had a witch farm on. So we might have even had one on this one. But yeah, that's basically everything that was on this server. So, hope you enjoyed the little bit of a tour and step back into the past, because I've already done a fair bit of a build on the current server I'm going to be starting a series on, but I really wanted to go through some of the stuff that we'd previously done on this server, since it's now basically gone, and I wanted to actually have kind of a backup video showing some of the different random fancy builds that everyone on the server had done, and then sort of one for my own as well. So I hope you enjoyed, and hopefully you'll tune in for my new series. And I'm planning on, if I find the time, possibly doing a couple of other games as well, or possibly starting up kind of a modded one as well. And actually, if I come through here, I can just shoot back to spawn really quick. Because I know the basic area of where spawn is. So, till next time, have a good one, and hope to see you around again.